Hi, how you doing? And welcome back to another video on the channel. What we have today is our final video of our World Cup previews for all the groups, and we're going to have our preview for Group H. Just getting it in time before the first game of the World Cup. So if you're new to the channel and support the grind of the series we've been doing, please like and subscribe to the channel. Greatly appreciated. And let's get into it. So we've got the group in front of us here. And it's really Portugal's to lose on paper, but Uruguay and South Korea might have something to say about that. That first game in match day one between the two sides will surely settle who qualifies in second place, unless Ghana can spring an upset against Portugal. So we start with Ghana, and they just snuck through their qualifying group for the World Cup on virtue of goals scored, and then they only just beat Nigeria on away goals. So they have just snuck into this tournament, but you've still got to, get the results and get into it. And they are the lowest ranked team in the competition, and the form is not great. Only two wins in their last 12 matches. But they do have some extra motivation to play Uruguay. So in the 2010 World Cup, they got all the way to the quarterfinals where they faced Uruguay, and that Luis Suarez handball denied them that goal, and then they missed the penalty, and it meant that they got knocked out. So there is some sort of previous history between the two sides, and that'll be interesting to see how it plays out. We s- they tend to play 4-3-3 or 4-2-3-1 depending on the opposition, and they're not afraid to play young players. So we're looking at the potential players for your fantasy league team here, and we start with Mohamed Kudus at 6 million. He's attacking midfielder who can also play at striker, or he does tend to play just behind the striker for Ghana. Um, he's got 5 goals in his 16 appearances and lots of energy to lead the counter attacks, which is probably what Ghana will be playing with. Next, we've got Fatou. He is a young 18-year-old, another attacking midfielder who actually has more appearances for Ghana than for his club Sporting Lisbon. Although he did start both games in the playoffs against Nigeria, which could speak volumes of how he's going to have an impact in this World Cup. Finally, we've got Andre Ayew, so the former Swansea and West Ham player, Premier League player. He currently plays in Qatar, the champions Al Sadd. He actually got second in the best young player at the 2010 World Cup, which is pretty impressive, and he is going to be leading the line for Ghana in this one as well. Next, we've got South Korea. Came behind Iran in second place in their qualifying group to secure their place at the World Cup, only conceding 3 goals in 10 games in that time. They actually failed to get past the group stage at the last two World Cups, although they do have a more stable coaching setup now. Paulo Bento is been in there for 4 years, and he is the longest serving South Korean coach. I think they did have something like 6 manager changes in the space of 4 years between 2014 and 2018. So tactical analysis for South Korea, they do try and keep the ball and enjoy possession. We'll kind of swing it from side to side looking for gaps, and they'll either play with a 4-1-3-2 or a 4-2-3-1 with an attacking fullback and a holding midfielder. So obviously we're going to start with Son from South Korea as a potential player to get into your team. He is a bit of an injury risk at the moment, but if he wins his race to be fit, he could be a standout player in the team. In his third World Cup, he's 2 goals away from being Asia's leading scorer in the competition, which would be a really impressive feat for him. Next up, we've got Kim Min Jae. He's a quick defender at the heart of the team, and he's a Napoli centre back. So he's just moved to Napoli this year, and he's in great form and key to clean sheet success for South Korea. 4.5 million could be potentially great value if you think they're going to finish second in their group. Next, we've got Hwang In Biom at 5 million, a versatile midfielder who can range from covering the back four to the number 10 role. So on we go to Uruguay, and they did okay in their qualifying group. They're quite a popular underdog in the World Cup here. A lot of people fancy them to actually go quite far. But the question remains is, are the older players too old? You've got Suarez and Cavani who are both 35, and the younger players that maybe don't have that international experience. But they do, as a team, have good recent history, making to the semi-finals of 2010 and a Copa America victory in 2011. So tactical analysis, they modify their approach depending on the opposition, so they are quite flexible with the players they've got. And the manager, he's only just come in and he has made a few new changes and brought in some new faces without completely getting rid of all the old players. Potential players, we're going to start with Federico Valverde. He's in fantastic form for Real Madrid and can play all over the pitch, but he's likely to be in midfield for Uruguay, where his box-to-box style will have the most impact. Next, we've got Sergio Rocher. He is the goalkeeper that's replaced Fernando Muslera, who would be playing in his fourth World Cup, but he got an injury Whether it remains that he's going to be starting or not, but if Russia does get the nod and does keep his place, a 4 million goalkeeper for Uruguay is fantastic value. Um, Next, we've got Darwin Nunes. With Cavani and Suarez both 35, more will be placed upon the 23-year-old who is more than capable of living up to the expectations of leading this Uruguay front line. Finally, we've got Portugal, and they did finish second behind Serbia in qualifying, um, but they did win Euro 2016 and the Nations League in 2019. The recent loss to Spain meant they missed out on the Nations League finals again, and they do have a mixture of experience and youth. So whether that's going to be, you know, really going properly for that, or whether it's a stage too far for the older players and a stage too quick for the younger players, remains to be seen. Tactical analysis is they still tend to build around Ronaldo, and they do have intricate build-up play. So potential players, we're going to start with João Cancelo, 6 million defender, probably the best fullback in the world right now. Unclear on which side he's going to play on, whether it's going to be the left or the right, but either way, he is potential team of the tournament material. Next, we've got Bernardo Silva, coming in at 9 million, quite expensive, but he is brilliant on the ball and likely to play number 10 for Portugal and involved in everything they do going forward. And then finally, we obviously have Cristiano Ronaldo. He just had to be involved in this. Massive point to prove to show you he still has it after fallout with Man United. And everyone around him is kind of in their prime to help out. So it'd be interesting to see the role that he plays, whether it's more of a finisher or whether it's more involved in the attack in general. But he will no doubt be a big player at this World Cup. So yeah, let me know what you think. Any support on the channel is greatly appreciated. Thank you very much for listening. I will see you in the next one.